Ghosts of the Ostfront. The following text is part of a transcript from Dan Carlin's Hardcore History podcast. https://www.dancarlin.com/ Episode, Ghosts of the Ostfront 3, about Soviet combat doctrine during World War II. I guess the story fits the subreddit. This willingness to punish anyone, though, on the Soviet side for the littlest infractions or for not carrying out orders to the letter began to inhibit the ability of commanders to make decisions on the ground. Everyone was so frightened of being shot or put in a penal battalion that they followed orders, even when the orders made no sense at all. One of my favorite stories highlighting the Soviet chain of command and how scared everyone was of disobeying orders and how it was better to lose lots of men than to disobey orders comes from a commander who was ordered to have his troops cross a river. Listen to this. Quote, "The regimental commander has maps and orders from above and you have nothing but a rifle and an entrenching tool. Somewhere up above, a general looks at a map and it seems reasonable to him to change the front line. He sends down an order at such and such a point. Move 5 kilometers forward. As luck would have it, there turns out to be a river just at that point. The White Sturgeon. It's deep and swift in open terrain. It would be convenient and relatively safe to sit in some trenches behind this natural obstacle. But an order is an order and you can't say it's impossible to cross here. Though, from any normal man's point of view, it is indeed impossible to cross because there are no boats, no planks, no trees, and the soldiers all come from the steppes and not only can't swim, but have never even seen a river. And so it starts. Comrade Lieutenant, sir, I can't go into the water. I don't know how to swim. But you won't be moved to pity. It's better to drown a soldier than to show irresoluteness or insubordination. All the more so since you've already reported to the battalion commander that there are no boats. You pull out your service revolver, cock it and yell, 'Get into the river at once. You son of a bitch. I'll count to 3 or else you'll never go anywhere.' The soldier goes in the water. The current seizes him. He drowns, as do all the rest that are forced in. Then you report to the battalion commander. Comrade Major, there are only 5 men left in my company. The major, of course, is furious. What did you do to them? I didn't hear a single shot. You reply, they all drowned crossing the river. Comrade Major, what do you mean drown? I'll shoot you right there like a dog. The major replies, as you will, Comrade Major. But I did report to you that there were no planks or logs to be found in the area. That the river is deep and swift. It can't be forwarded. You told me to stop arguing and obey orders. You blockhead. What a stupid way to destroy a whole company." The major also feels at fault and calls the colonel, his regimental commander. "I gave you 5 hours to cross the river." The latter shouts without listening to the major, "Have you carried out the order?" "No, Comrade Colonel. We've sustained heavy losses." The major says, "Losses? Well, that's fine. There weren't any losses." Our heads would roll. "What happened?" "Everything's quiet. Not a single shot." "Did they all get knifed or what?" "No, drowned." The major replies, "The company that was to cross over were all slant eyes. Never saw a river before. Naturally, they drowned since there was nothing to float on." The colonel is incensed. "You son of a bitch. Why didn't you take some pontoons? We've been dragging a whole transport of pontoons around. I can give you as many as you want." The major replies, "I no longer need them. Comrade Colonel, there are 5 cucumbers left in the 1st company, 10 in the 2nd, maybe 20 in the 3rd. There's no one left to cross." Cucumbers, by the way, was a slang term for the green-clad Soviet infantrymen. "You'll have to cross anyway," the colonel says after some pondering. "What counts is the fact that the order has been carried out. even if only one man makes it." End quote. Charge of the Light Brigade. https www.gutenberg.org/files/23597/23597h.htm. The charge of the Light Brigade written about an 1800s invasion of Crimea. The charge of the Light Brigade. Half a league. Half a league, half a league onward, all in the valley of death rode the 600. Forward. The Light Brigade. Charge for the guns, he said. Into the valley of death rode the 600. 2. Forward. The Light Brigade. Was there a man dismayed? Not though the soldier knew someone had blundered. There's not to make reply, there's not to reason why, there's but to do and die. Into the valley of death rode the 600. 3. Cannon to right of them, cannon to left of them, cannon in front of them volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell, boldly they rode and well, into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell rode the 600. IV. Flashed all their sabers bare, flashed as they turned in air, sabring the gunners there. Charging an army, while all the world wondered, plunged in the battery smoke right through the line they broke. Cossack and Russian reeled from the saber stroke, shattered and sundered. Then they rode back, but not the 600. V. Cannon to right of them, cannon to left of them, cannon behind them volleyed and thundered. Stormed it with shot and shell, while horse and hero fell, they that had fought so well came through the jaws of death, back from the mouth of hell, all that was left of them, left of 600. V. When can their glory fade? Oh, the wild charge they made! All the world wondered. Honor the charge they made. Honor the Light Brigade, noble 600. That part always got me. I never thought I would see it happen in real life. But watching the video coming out of Ukraine, I get it. I can hear that story in my head, no so much malicious as just terrified compliance. Ours is not to wonder why ours is, but to do and die. Great series. Really creepy when he describes the field of bones. Cool story. And relevant today. Since you're retranscribing a podcast, I'll assume 2 mistakes were made. Steps are where slant eyes folks would be from near Mongolia, and you ford a river. Wow. The alternative is to be a success, and then your reward is living in the Soviet Union. Love, Dan Carlin. That is horrific. I can't help but imagine how helpless the soldiers must have felt, choosing between one death and another. It goes to show they don't think of soldiers as human, just machines faced with rolling eyes.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.